I'm down here. And I'm looking ghostly, of course. Oh, here we go again. With the struggle to get this darn palette out of its freaking case. Okay, that was a lot easier. Welcome. My name is Cassie. I hope you're having a good day, or had a good day wherever you may be in this world. Today I'm doing a one palette tutorial using the Anastasia Beverly Hills X Jackie Aina palette. This is the first time using it. If you haven't seen the video already, I did receive this in gratis, ultra gratis. And this is a look that I came up with really quickly. I go through some emotions in this video. Happy emotions. Talk about my dad a little bit. And I talk about a medium a little bit. And yeah, if you'd like to keep watching, see how I got this look, and also hear about the medium and my dad, watch me tear up because I don't show any emotion, like, at all usually. Then just keep on watching. Also, make sure that you are subscribed if you haven't already. It is free, and we all love free things. It's not going to hurt you to hit that button. And also, I upload twice a week, once on Wednesdays and once on Sundays. Keep watching the video if you would like to see how I got this eye look right here. It is a one palette tutorial, another one palette tutorial. I love doing those. I want to do another battle video between two Anastasia palettes. I won't tell you who, but it'll definitely be... I keep putting my fingers in these brand new shadows, but it'll definitely be between Jackie Aina and another YouTuber. At first, I honestly wasn't gonna purchase this because I have a lot of similar shades, but I received it in gratis. Oh my gosh, I just ruined another freaking shade. Maybe I just shouldn't be filming today, clearly. But I did swatch this palette compared to the Alyssa Edwards palette, and these swatches blew the Alyssa Edwards palette out of the water. Like, the yellow and the blue and the purple in the Alyssa Edwards palette is super patchy. It's like not even worth the money at all. But this purple shade right here that I will swatch for you, come on. That is so pigmented, like ridiculously pigmented. And that was a good swatch, if I do say so myself. I actually suck at swatches, but super pigmented. I think that she definitely hit the nail on the head with this one, just because if you do have darker skin, it's a little bit harder to get ashy tones to work and actually show up and look good on your skin. So I completely understand why she made this. It's an amazing palette. Everything, to the beautiful packaging, to the shades and the actual swatches. And now, I know I'm obviously a little bit behind with filming with her palette, but who said that it has to be a certain time? Because no, sis. I was actually just watching a Jackie Aina video. At first I didn't really like her because I'm like, oh, she kind of just thinks she's the crap, but in reality she kind of is the crap. Like, she's the bee's knees, let's be serious. But I was watching the video where she was showing you how to keep foundation on your nose, and that's a really, really, really good video. So, anyway, starting off, I am using the Anastasia brush that comes in the palette, so I'm going to use the more fluffier side because that could be used for in my crease as well as my transition shades. So I'm going to dip into the shade Supreme, and this is going to be in my crease and outer corner, as well as once all of the product I feel is kind of deposited in the outer corner and crease, I'll blend it in to the inner corner. This brush is extremely, extremely itchy. Alright, so I'm switching to the Morphe M533 brush. I need to wash my brushes badly. But I'm going to go in this the same way I just did. I don't want it to be like extremely pink because I am wearing like army, and I kind of wanted to focus on like the deeper purples and this shade right here. And actually today I wanted to do like an olive green makeup tutorial, but I've come to reality that I don't think I have any palettes that have olive green in it. If you know of a palette that has olive green in it, let me know. I honestly feel like this palette is good for anybody, even somebody who's extremely pale, because they just go in with a light hand. If you're stamping into that shade really, really hard and not knocking any of the excess product off and just going in straight away, it's going to get really messy really quickly. Don't be holding your brush like this because you're going with a heavy hand. If you hold your brush kind of like on the outer corner, it's a lot lighter and you're getting a lot lighter strokes. it may take you a little bit longer to apply your actual eyeshadow, but I'd rather apply a little bit at first than apply too much at first and then not be able to take it off. The last few days I have been in really, really good spirits because my family went to a psychic medium, and if you don't know what that is, they can talk to the dead. And if you didn't know, my dad passed away. December will make 5 years, so he passed away almost 5 years ago, and he was just the type of guy to like, he didn't like to be center of attention, which is me. Come on, I hate being center of attention. But he was like the life of every party, but center of attention wasn't him. He wasn't the type of person to like mediums. He didn't like any of that stuff. So it's like every time the mediums say something about him, like he's letting everybody else talk first, that's my dad, because that whole thing is just not him. And he, like, you go, you know. And even like a few times, the last time that I went, the girl said, okay, like, he's stepping back now. He says that he's busy. He has things to do. And he was always on the go. Like, he always had stuff to do. But I have been to a medium 3 times in the last 5 years. And every time I go, I am begging and begging my dad to bring up my tattoo on my leg, because it's 3 different huge pieces that I pieced together. It's literally almost my entire thigh. And it's a memorial piece for him, basically. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to continue and talk as I go, because I like always stop and continue talking, and yeah, I just shouldn't do that. I'm going to take the shade Pinker, and this is going to be on my outer corner. Every time I go, I am begging. This is a really pigmented shade. Begging and begging him, Dad, please bring out my tattoo. Please bring out my tattoo. I just want to know that you've seen it. You know that I have it. Because he wasn't someone to like be against tattoos, but when he was still here, I only had 1 tattoo, which is the one on my chest right here, which is for my grandmother. He had some tattoos as well, so he's not one to be like against it, but I also didn't have this tattoo when he was here because obviously he was still here. So it's like, I just want him to acknowledge and know that I have it. And so she finally brought it up. And the craziest thing is I graduate in December, and my school is in Maryland, but our graduation is in Washington. And the lady said, she said to my stepmom, like, you're taking a girls trip soon. And my stepmom was like, yeah, because my stepmom, my mom, my sister, and my little sister are going to meet us there for our graduation. And she was like, take the trip, like, take the girls trip. And that was a huge deal in itself, but we won't speak about that. She had continued, and she was just like, well, what's in Washington? And everyone's like, well, my sister's graduating in Washington. That's where the graduation is. Actually, they didn't say graduation. They just said that's where the girls' trip is. And a little while after that, she goes, why am I seeing a school bus? I'm graduating college. So that's where the school bus comes from. And then she said, why am I seeing, like, how can you relate to the South? Who's in Texas? And my sister's like, my sister lives in Texas. And she's like, okay, like, he's just acknowledging that he's there. Oh my gosh, I'm going to start to freaking cry. But, so he was acknowledging that he's there, and then she was talking about who has a memorial tattoo for him. And she was like, well, my stepmom has one, because my stepmom has, like, her own creation on her ankle, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it's, like, closer to her ankle. Okay, so my last tattoo that I got for him was recent, but she got hers right before I got that one. But I was the first one to have a tattoo for him, and my aunt has a tattoo for him and stuff like that. So my sister had said when she had mentioned my stepmom, she kind of wasn't, like, vibing with it. Like, she was kind of just like, no, like, there's somebody else. And my sister was like, well, my sister has a tattoo for him, and she was like, okay, just know that he's acknowledging that she has it. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up, and I don't like this. Oh my gosh. But it just felt like so good and relieving to know that he sees it and that he's obviously paying attention. Ugh. It's just good to know that even though he's not here physically, like, emotionally and mentally he is here, and he's with us. Like, I'm from Massachusetts, I'm not from Texas, and nobody really we know besides me has ever really lived in Texas. So, I mean, that's really cool. Um, a couple months ago, my husband and I visited the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. We got like a tour, and my stepmom, for my going away, she gave me my dad's Cowboys jersey, and I brought that with me, and I took some photos there, it was pretty nice. It was bittersweet. I'm going to take this brush. It's the Vintage Cosmetic Company, and this is kind of just like a more flatter brush. And I'm going to take the shade Credit, and I'm going to focus this really close to my lash line and kind of blend that out. Just because I want it to be a little bit deeper, but I don't like eyeliner. I haven't really been able to tell anybody besides the people that obviously went, so I'm kind of just like, I want to let it out like, guys, my dad is here. He's here. He's really like with me. I mean, at night, it freaks me out. Like, don't give me signs at night because I get scared. But during the day, I'll take all the signs. I remember one time I was sleeping when I lived at my sister's house. She lives in like a 100-year-old house. So they have like the wooden drawers. And in order for you to open it, you kind of got to like either lift it up or down and pull it out. And it makes a loud noise every time you open it. And I literally heard, I was the only one up because I had just gotten home. It was pretty late. I literally heard the doors open. And then I heard it close. And I was just like, and I turned my light on, and my friends were like, it's your dad, just say hi. I'm like, it's midnight, I'm not saying hi to no ghost. I'll acknowledge that he's there, but I mean, obviously there's no doubt in my mind that he's not there, but it's really good and comforting to know that he's living through us. And like, obviously I knew that because like, I flew home to watch my brother's graduation. That was a really big deal because he wasn't there, so I made sure that I was there. Like, nothing was going to stop me. If I had to quit my job because my job wasn't going to allow me to go, like, that was going to happen. I was going to quit my job. Family means everything to me. That was like the most important thing for me. I think another important thing would be like, I wrote him a note that only he had, and I put it in his casket before we buried him, and like nobody read that before I put it in there. So like if he were to say that like he read a note, I would know. Obviously it was mine because I was the only one, I believe, that did that. But that hasn't come up yet. But my tattoo, every time I'm sitting there with the meeting, I'm like, please bring up my tattoo, talk about my tattoo, like begging him. So I'm using this LA Pro concealer to cut my crease. Every time I do this, I get white in my lashes and on my lower lash line. It literally just never fails. Obviously not positive that my dad's not physically here with us, but it's positive that he's here with me. Like right now, he's probably around me. Obviously I can't see him, I can't feel him, but he's probably around me. And I'm completely okay with knowing that. I swear that one time when I was living in Italy, I heard him yell my name. Like, I was super exhausted and I fell back asleep and I randomly woke up because I heard, Cassie! In like a way that he would yell for me. If he was sitting on the couch and the remote was literally like arm's length away from him, he would yell for me and I would be like, what? And he would never answer because he knew that if he answered and was like, get the remote, I wouldn't get it. So I would walk all the way across the house to the living room and get him the remote that he could pick up with his own hand. But I heard it like loud as day, and after that I just couldn't fall back asleep. Nobody was home. My husband was at work. Anyways, I'm going to use this shade Sponsored because I've been wanting to do an olive green color, and I feel like it'll look pretty cool with the army print that I have on, as well as with this color that I've got going on here. And I'm going to use my finger because this is the way that the shimmer shades pay off the most. And I'm going to put that over top of the cut crease and the concealer. Super, super pigmented. I am barely laying down my finger on this, and it's just depositing the color. A lot of times I gotta be like, ugh. It honestly reminds me of the cover because you have the green and then you have the purples. That's what this is reminding me of because I have the purple and then I've got the green. I'm taking this Luxie 245 small shader brush and I'm just stamping that shade on in pieces that I may have missed. Also, you may realize that yes, I cut the crease and you kind of can't really tell on here or on camera, but the reason why I do it is so that way when I put the shimmer shade over top, it's a lot more pigmented. I know that he's got family that he's with right now and he's having probably a grand old time. Granted, he'd probably love to be home with his children and his wife, but yeah. There's also, I don't even know if she's going to want me to put this in here, but my sister recorded it, and my stepmom is still really young. She's in her 40s, but she's still really young. And of course, nobody expects her to not continue to live her life. So she has moved on. She is really big in our life. She's still with us all the time. She's always keeping track. She's definitely a great stepmom. She's one of the stepmoms that everybody wishes they had. But in the video, she had asked my stepmom, like, oh, you've remarried? And she says, no. And she said, oh, well, you've moved on. You've found somebody. And my stepmom said, yeah. And I'm going to freaking cry again because when I watched it, I was bawling my eyes out. Oh my gosh. You guys are probably like, I'm exiting out this video because there's too many tears. But anyways, while I get my tears together and get my life together, I'm going to add more of that pinker shade in my outer corner and kind of blend that shade Sponsored, so that way it's not a super harsh line like it is right now. He pretty much said, like, he gives you his blessing to move on. And I bawled my eyes out because obviously when you marry somebody to be with them for the rest of your lives. And obviously my dad's time was cut too short. He was only 44 years old when he passed away, and they both had a whole life to live with each other. Really, when you marry somebody to be with them till death do us part. And unfortunately, his life was cut too short, and so my stepmom moved on. We all get along with her boyfriend. I mean, of course, a lot of people don't agree with it, but they didn't lose a loved one. We all did, and it'd be totally different if, like, we didn't agree with it, which that's not the case at all. We don't expect my stepmom to live in a bedroom for the rest of her life and not mingle and not make friends and not find somebody else. Like, that's not the case. We really like this guy, and he's really nice. You know, he always comes to family things, and he's always around. He works a lot, but he's a really nice guy, and it's all that matters. If you're watching this and you have lost a loved one, whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 54, you know, everybody grieves in their own way. You can decide to love somebody else. You can decide to move on. You can decide not to, but don't let everybody around you control how you're feeling. If everybody around you is like, you can never love again, you just can't remarry, you can't get into another relationship, kick it to the curb with them because they're just a toxic person in your life. Let it go. They don't know what it's like to lose somebody, and move on. Obviously, I would love to see my stepmom still with my dad, but that's not the case. And I know that if he was still here, they still would be together. And family friends who knew my dad and stuff, I'm going to take the shade Supreme with my Luxie 141 mini round brush, and I'm going to go on my bottom lash line, and I'm going to connect my outer corner to my inner corner. You can make this really smoky or not. It's a Luxie 121 mini tapered, and I'm dipping into the shade Pinker, and I'm just going to blend that from outer corner to inner corners again, and making sure that it's blending with my outer corner and it's not just like a harsh line. And also, I do understand the whole losing a loved one type of thing, but I also understand this is just spilling some tea, cases. You will lose the people that you thought were there from you since day one, and they will be the biggest judgmental and judgment piece of your life, whether they're inside or whether they're outside. And believe me, I'm a Cancer, so it's like when you cross me, I lose all respect, and I just want to blurt every single word that comes out of my mouth, which obviously isn't the right way to go about it. But I feel like when you disrespect somebody who is no longer here, and you start to disrespect my family, oh my gosh, I become the worst person. Nothing has come out yet. I'm obviously not going to go into details, but just know that I know there's some tea going around, and that if there were anybody in my family to say anything to anybody, to these people who used to be close, to these people who used to be my dad's best friend, it would probably be me. I have the mouth that's going to come out. Let me tell you, I don't like is it controversy? Is it that? I don't like confrontation. I don't like the drama. But when it comes to my dad, when it comes to my family, all that goes out the window. You do one thing, you're on my crap list, and you're just going to stay that way. So I'm surprised that it has taken me this long to step up and say something to people who used to be close to my family and my dad, and the people who used to love him. And when he passed away, it was all over their Facebook like they were BFFs. He was the best thing ever. And then now all of a sudden it's like, where are you? You know, I know that always happens, but for me it makes me extremely angry, because I know that if my dad was still here, they would still be butt munching off of him. And I'm saying it in that way because that's the type of people that they were. And they will always be that people. And because they're not around, it's because my dad's not here and my dad doesn't have any more to offer. Okay? My dad was the type of person that would give you the shirt off of his back. And because he's not here to offer any of that to those people, they're nowhere to be found. But when it comes time to me posting or my family posting about my dad and it being 5 years, oh my gosh, I missed. Yeah, okay, when was the last time you visited his grave or something like that? Let me stop, because I'm about to get real disrespectful. I'm going to blend this out with my Morphe M533 brush. I'm loving this look. It looks so good. So I'm going to take another Luxie brush, and I'm going to take the 111 Mini Flat Angled. And I'm going to dip into the shade Trust Issues, and I'm going to put this right on my inner corner just to give it a pop. You already know if I don't have an inner corner highlight, there's something wrong. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, came with me along my emotions. Leave some comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, share, whatever. Just make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in my next video.